Are you ready for the rough?
Hey, what's up guys, Elevated here. Today I want to do a different kind of tutorial. I'm actually going to do a tutorial on how to solder a bit, and what I'm making here is it's to jailbreak NAND consoles. So what I have right here, this is a Teensy 2.0, and then this is a PCB board that I got. It was custom made specifically for this, and you can either have one of these made yourself or you can buy one pre-made. I know there's a guy from ps3 tools who he actually makes these, and I'll put a link in the description. I got this off eBay for like 15 bucks. The whole setup ran me about $100 or so. But what you're gonna need obviously the Teensy I already did this part. I should have waited, but I bought this little right here. This is an adapter because it runs off a 5 volt, and we want to end up using the power for right here. This is a USB plug. So you can order one of these, and all you do is just solder it at these few points and put it on here. Another thing you're gonna have to do is, I don't know if you can see very well, but in here there's it says 5 volt and 3 volt. In between the 5 volt and 3 volt, there's 3 pins, and in between there's a little metal connector that is right here. So all you really have to do for that is just scrape in between those two, and it'll break that, and then now it'll run off 3 volt and run this little guy right here. So first thing we want to do, or I guess second thing after putting this on, is usually what I would do is I would grab like a 2x4 pin header and put it here. That's what you normally do, but I don't have one right now, and the way I'm gonna put this on this board is where I can take this off whenever I want. So I'll do that at a later time, but for right now I'm gonna just do it the old school way, and I'm gonna bridge. And what you need to do, you need to bridge this. I don't know. I'm gonna see if you guys can see this. PA0, PA1, PA2, PA3, and PA4. So you need to bridge these. So let's get into that right now. This is the 360 clip, well, half of it. These two connect together with this ribbon cable, and this is actually what you put on your PS3. Comes with all the pin header. This is a pin header, by the way, if you were wondering what I was talking about. Normally I would just get like a 4x2 and put it in that slot, but we're gonna do it this way. So what you want to have is you want to have some good solder, and the best kind of solder you get, unless you're going to use flux, is solder with rosin core. And obviously for this I'm going to use a very, very fine point on my soldering gun. So bear with me here. I'm going to try to do this where you guys can still see. So what I use is, I also use this it's no clean flux. It's a little different than regular flux. It's more liquidy. I'll just dab a little bit right here, and we're gonna bridge these. So don't mind me if I get quiet for a second. Concentrating. These are so small. See what I got? Okay. Now we want to come this way. It's kind of difficult to do with trying to let you guys see it as well, not being right on top of it. So drag this out a little bit. And If you're doing any of this soldering and you're not very good at it, best thing to do is just get like a dead board. Doesn't matter what it is, and just keep practicing. And you can always use one of these soldering pumps. Like I got way too much solder right here, but it's because I'm trying to do this and let you guys see as well. And this soldering pump, all it is like just a pressure evacuator. You put it right here, and you can suck out the extra solder that's going there. And breach this connection. And I'm by no means the best solderer, nor do I claim to be, but I get the job done. Okay. And I got those holes plugged. I can let me need to dab this with something real quick. The main thing you want to do is you would just want to make sure you don't hit any of the other open holes that you're not supposed to be around. I got too much flux on here, so it's giving me a little bit of the time. So let's pop this out one more time. Okay. Dab that again. Okay. And now that we're solid on here on the tops, now we're just going to do the bridge. And this I'll actually end up pulling all of this out once I order the 2x4 pinner. I'll run the pinner through there. That's a whole lot easier, but for now we make do. So okay, it's not pretty, but it works. We have that little L going on. So now what we want to do, now that we have that going, is we are going to, what I did here is I got this little port so I can actually put this to the board right here, solder this to the board, and then snap this in and snap it out. That way it'll make it a whole lot easier for us. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop this in here so it comes through the other side, and we will do the same this one. We're going to do one at a time though. So I'm going to put that here. I'll put a little something over here to even it out for the moment. And when you're soldering something pretty big like this, there's quite a few of them, you want to, and all I'm doing right here is adding a little bit of that flux. You want to start from the middle and work your way out. You don't want to go on the end, because like here it's a little bit easier because there's a lot of room, but if you're doing like on a board where there's a little tiny space and you start in the middle and you start on the outside and go in the middle, you're going to be like in your way. and you're going to be pulling solder into it. Here you can like work your way out on both sides. So okay. So we're going to start with these. Helps if you've had a little bit of soldering experience even. I do construction, so I do some copper plumbing and stuff sometimes, so for the most part I got it down, but it's a whole lot different when it comes to this stuff, the circuitry board soldering. And yet, again, you don't want to put too much, because if you put too much, then if it touches one of these other points, you're going to be in trouble. So just enough to make the connection and hold. Okay. Half of that side done. Another thing, it's good to try to keep your soldering gun clean, because if you have a bunch of solder on your tip, you're gonna be in trouble. Come on. Again, I'm not soldering straight up. I'm doing it at an angle, trying to let you guys see what I'm doing a little bit, so making it a little more difficult. Okay, so we have that side completely done. I don't know if you can see it right there, but that's kind of what you want. You want just a little bit of solder, not too much, not where it's going to overflow into the next one. So let's do this one real quick. And the reason on the Teensy I put so much solder in there is because I'm going to run a jumper wire over, and I want it to be easy to just contact the wire. I mean, I'll still probably put a little much, but it's okay because I'm going to end up taking it out here in a couple days anyways. Come on, guy. And doing it this way used to be, and this is only for the NAND consoles. For the NOR consoles, you can just use an E3 flasher, which is a whole lot easier. But what I'm doing here is I'm setting this up because usually on NANDs you have to solder to the board, and I'm setting this up where this is going to be a solderless, so it'll just save a lot of time. I mean, it's a lot of time for the setup for the first initial time, like doing all this, but it saves when you don't have to solder to the board every single time you do a NAND. This is basically we're making a NAND E3 flasher. So I'm gonna rub just a little more flux on here. Again, if you accidentally cross over into another point, just make sure you take that solder out before moving on. Sometimes you don't even see it, so I like to use my magnifying glass at the end and just do a quick inspection over it. So we are all good except one little part. I don't think there's quite enough solder in this point, so try to get it in that little hole. There we go. Okay, now that we get that on, we got this as our pin board. So this will just snap in here when we're done. And now we want to put this guy on. So let's pop this through here. And oops. Again, I'm going to just put something underneath this side to kind of try to keep it level. Now this is where I was saying, because these are so close to fucking together, you got to be really careful to not group them together when you're doing this soldering. So, and you guys have no idea, I totally just spilt the solder on the side of the table over here, so I'm just like dipping this shit in the table and running it back over. Clean that shit up later, but alright, so let's get down to business. Let's try to do this one in a hurry. What I do is if I start on this one, I'm putting the solder on the opposite side of whatever I started. I'm not going to put it like in between the two legs that I already did. All you got to really do is once it starts pulling the solder in, just push it in a little bit and it'll surround the whole thing. You don't have to take this and wrap it all the way around those little legs. That's unnecessary. This is what I was saying. See, all that solder built up. So I have this little it's a solder cleaner. So you run it in here, and then I got this little guy. This is my sponge just to clean it off, get a nice little point again. Makes life a whole lot easier. If you're dealing with a dirty soldering gun, you could be the best solderer in the world, and you're still gonna end up with a fucked up job at the end because that shit just gets rough. Okay. Come on, you bitch. There we go. Okay. So I'm a lefty, man, so what I do is I'll usually do the one side. If they're close together, I'll do them all like this, but if it's real close together, I'll just flip this board. Make it easier for me, and then same thing, I'm gonna start in the middle right here. And work my way towards myself. Doesn't matter if you go up or down first. Just hurt a muscle memory, man. If you're gonna do something, start it one way and then do it every time that way, and then it becomes easier. So eventually I'll put a regulator here and another couple little capacitors here, but they're not 100% needed. But I love that the spots are there. This will just help your voltage like stay a little bit more clean. And then this, if you want to run what that's gonna do, if you hook that up, that's gonna let you run external power instead of the USB. If you want like a higher than a 5 volt, go some DC voltage or some shit like that. But again, we're just setting this up to work for a USB. Sometimes you guys have problems with the USB, but as long as you have a good cord and you soldered it correctly, you don't have it. You'll be fine. So, okay. So now that those are done, good and secure. Check over this one more time. Make sure we have no spots where they're running over. Okay. So now, this one we are going to end up actually putting this directly on the board, and I'm going to run this here. This is where it'll be, and just want to get this set up correctly. Alright, cool. So what we're going to do, this little right here, I don't know if you can see it where it says RE, that is what we're going to actually jump into here, and we're going to use some wire for that until we get that new port. And this, I might eventually solder it in here for good, but I wanted to do it like this, that way if I put it on here and I need to pull it up to get to that little 2x4 pin, I can do that. So let's go ahead and solder these on here, and then we are almost done. Wipe some more of this flux up off my table. Shit. Okay. Now I don't want this all the way down, so I'm gonna go about right. Yeah, right there. Something like that. Okay. This is when you get in those tight spots that I'm talking about, where you gotta be really careful not to touch all this shit. It's fucking harder for me. I got big ass hands and shit. And also, man, just let you guys know, if you guys ever have any ps3s that need either a Y-Lod repair. I'm not gonna do this RE because I'm gonna jump that, so I'll do that one when I jump it. But back to what I was saying, if you guys have any ps3s that need a HDMI fixed or has a Y-Lod, anything like that, I also offered ps3 repairs now. I do reballing. You could just contact me either through here or through Portocentric for pricing. Okay. Come on. I just looked back and I got my PlayStation on and I'm on Black Ops 2 and I don't know how long these guys have been sitting in my lobby, but they just joined my shit. Gotta be sitting there since I started this shit. But anyways, okay. So, we have this board on. We have this one done except the RE. And we did this right here, this little bridge, and I put this on before you guys got to watch. But so now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna set this here. Push that guy in. And this is our board for the most part. All we're gonna have to do now is just jump this wire for the moment. And I got this shit right here. Real nice and thin wire, so I'm gonna have to hurry because my camera that I'm recording on is going dead. So hopefully I can get this knocked out real quick. So I'm just gonna solder this in here. Camera's still on, cool. Okay. And then we're gonna jump this one. Like I told you, I'm not gonna do it like this is just temporary. I have a couple ps3s that needed to get out, so I wanted to get my NAND stuff going so I could send the people back their ps3s. Okay, and that's it, you guys. This will go here, connect here, and then this goes to here, and then this goes on your PlayStation, and that is how you make a solderless NAND tool. Again, I'll put a link in the description of where to order everything if you guys are interested, and if you guys are also interested, I actually will make these for people for a small fee besides the material costs. So anyways, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Till next time, stay up, peace out.